Greetings, everyone. It's the New York Thrifter, and I just wanted to start out with what I did at the beginning of my day on this experiment, a week as a full-time reseller. I am going through very quickly some of my rejects, and what I do is when I thrift, I don't always see flaws in items, and so as I'm listing, as I'm photographing, when I run into flaws, I will put them aside and I will just take back any items and I will redonate them at a local thrift store. I've been selling on eBay for a while and I have many mistakes that I make. Sometimes I get excited, I see a brand, and I don't notice there's a hole or there is a flaw in it. And so don't beat yourself up if this happens. All you need to do is move on. I would say if I had to calculate how much money that I spent that's in this bag, it's probably, maybe $15, maybe even 20. The hem on this one was really poorly done. They hemmed them. And so it's not the end of the world. This is part of being a reseller, that you need to understand that you are going to have pieces that you're not going to be able to sell. That's why it's so important to go over everything in the store as good as you can. But if not, you relist these and you move on. It's also a reason why you might want to start out, if you do have yard sales or Goodwill outlet, the bins in your area. You can do some of your experimenting with inexpensive clothing so you don't run into too many problems. Oh, that was a beautiful J. Jill sweater that had a smell that I could not get out. Here is a dress that had a bunch of bleeding when I washed it, and I've since started to use Shout color catchers so that doesn't happen again. I did haul this love dress, not noticing that there was a hole in it, so I'm going to lose money on that. But like I said, I just go down to my local thrift and I redonate and I move on, because I make a lot more money if I'm not worried about every tiny flaw in these pieces. And the great thing about donating pieces back to thrift stores means you have a reason to head to the thrift store. So I've shown you this before. This is a Salvation Army that is close to where I live, and I usually source this pretty quickly because I have found lots of gems here, but sometimes it can be hit or miss. If you go on a Wednesday, there it is half off. It's family day, so you get a lot of pieces for half off. So I like to actually go on Tuesday. As you can see, the store is pretty much empty. Everyone's waiting for Wednesday, and things aren't picked over. So I have an opportunity to get more pieces, to more of those gems. After sourcing for about 20 minutes, I did find three pieces that I liked. This is a Ralph Lauren blazer for $5, and it comes with one of those giant patches along with the buttons. I know some people will actually pull the buttons and the patch off and just sell those. I'm going to try to sell the whole thing. Here's a LuLaRoe dress that I found, just a black and white, extra small. So for $4, I definitely picked that up. And I found a $3 J. Crew tunic, very summery. At the end, I decided not to grab this one though, so I left it behind. So after I was done at the thrift store, I headed home to do shipping from yesterday's sales. So let's get started on the shipping for today. I have 7 pieces that are going out. This first one is really interesting. This is a Free People thermal shirt, and it has these cuffs on it. Now these cuffs have a specific name. They're called hyperactive cuffs, apparently. Not something I knew until I looked up comps on eBay, or comparisons on eBay. So what I did, because there was a lot of fading with this piece, I listed it at auction with a lot of information about how it was faded, although there is, no holes or stains in it. I did also put pilling on it because the material isn't great. And so I listed it starting at a very low price. And I had a message less than like 2 hours later, this woman saying, hey, I really like that. Can you put a buy it now? So I put a buy it now for $25 and it sold for $25 plus shipping. And I purchased that for $2. The second thing I'm going to be shipping out is this girl's Lily Pulitzer size 12 dress. And this is very indicative of a Lily piece. In fact, you even have her name on that. I bought this for $2.50 and it sold for $24.99. And it'll be very easy to ship. This is going to go in a first class mailer for under 8 ounces. This next piece is a new with tags Chico's top, and this top is really great because it is an extra large and it's got kind of an iCat design, so this is going to be perfect for the summer. I picked this up for $3 and it sold for $22 on best offer plus shipping. This next piece I've had in my inventory for a while. You know that because it's all bagged up. And this is a Tiger Woods jacket, like hoodie jacket, full zip for men. And I purchased this originally for $5 and I sold it for $20 with a $3.99 shipping. And I think this is going to be able to go first class, but it'll go at the highest level, so I'll end up paying, you know, somewhere around over $4 for it. Okay, let's see the rest of these pieces. These have been in my inventory for a little bit. That's why they're bagged up. This is a Pea in the Pod, which is a maternity striped shirt. I bought this for $1 at a yard sale, and I ended up selling it for $8 plus shipping. I don't really like selling maternity. I just feel I don't know. I don't feel like there's a huge market, at least for the customers that come to my store. I know that other people find it a really good deal. It's just not my personal favorite. This next one is a Sweet Pea shirt. These Sweet Pea shirts are made of nylon and they're very breathable, great for summer. This one had little birds on it, which was very cute. I ended up selling this for $7 plus shipping and handling. So for this one, I picked it up for $1, and I'm actually going to stop buying this brand. I used to be able to sell them for more money. I used to be able to sell them for at least, you know, $15 or $20. Now the price is closer to $7 to $10, so it's just not really a great return for me. And the next piece I purchased because it was a really great striped shirt, plus size, which 2X, and I didn't recognize the name on it. It said Sunday, and so I brought it home and looked it up, and I found out that Sunday is actually Dress Barn. And this is the first Dress Barn piece that I've ever purchased, and because it was a really cute style with 3/4 sleeves and the black and white stripes, I was able to sell it for $19.99 plus shipping and handling, which means since I purchased it for under $3, I got a really great return. I think I said it in yesterday's video, but these plus size tops are just doing amazingly well for me. I'm so excited about these purchases. So let's run these numbers. Total sales for today, $145.92. The fees I pay to PayPal and eBay is about 15% at $21.89. For shipping, I paid out $21.98. My cost of goods, or how much I spent purchasing all of these items, was $17.25, which leaves me of a total profit of $84.80. Okay profit for a day, nothing to sneeze at, but certainly we're going to be working on getting that number up and hopefully seeing higher profits to come. Okay, now that we've talked about profits on eBay, I want to talk a little bit about Poshmark. I do sell on that platform, and so I am going to take you onto my page and let you know what I'm going to be doing this week for that app. Welcome to my Poshmark closet. This is pretty sad. I only have 15 listings, 42 shares, and only a few followers. And the reason it looks like this is because a while ago I decided to ditch my closet and delete it completely and start fresh because I wanted to retake photos and try something new. So this is me. You'll probably recognize my avatar. I have sold two pieces, an anthro sweater and an anthro tank, one for 20, one for 15. So that was really great. I also have a couple other pieces. I noticed a theme pretty quickly, which was gray, black, and white. So I tried to get some color in. I added some red and blue, but obviously I've got a long way to go on this. And so I'm at Shopping New York on Poshmark. I'd love for you to come and follow me. Once I opened this closet a few weeks ago, I put a few things in and then I pretty much forgot about it. And so during this week, I wanted to take a little bit of time and I wanted to come back to it to see if there was any way that I could up my Poshmark game. So, the first thing that I would recommend anyone do is head over to Boondoggle Bliss. That's Anna. And she has a video on what is called the 30-minute method. So, I'm going to swap back over to show you how to get to that 30-minute method. And then we will talk a little bit more about what it involves. So this is Anna from Boondoggle Bliss, and as you can see, she's absolutely gorgeous, and she has impeccable style. She is smart and funny and truly knowledgeable about fashion, and she is a community builder. She was one of the first people on YouTube to invite me to the community, and I want to say thank you, Anna, for that. Everyone should go over to her channel on YouTube and check her out. Specifically, she has a video called the Poshmark 30-minute method, where she goes through the 30-minute method developed by Lynn McCollin Cromer, I believe her name is, and she is on Facebook at the Poshmark Analytics Sandbox. And so Anna was delightful enough to make up a list of what that 30-minute method is. To get to this video, you're going to go to bit.ly/30-minute method, and this will take you to Anna's YouTube channel where she lays out the 6 steps that you need to do every day on Poshmark in order to get sales. I want to start out by saying this 30-minute method is not something that I developed. This was done by people who have been on Poshmark for far longer than myself, who have had far greater success. And that itself will tell you something, that they do have experience in what they're doing. Second of all, I haven't tried this yet myself, but going through this and looking at it, everything they're saying makes a lot of sense to me. And so that's why I want to give this a shot during my week as a full-time reseller. So I'm going to get started on this. Now, the idea is it's a very specific way of sharing your closet and engaging with the community in a way to make sure that your items get viewed more on the app, and therefore you would get more sales. Apparently, after doing this for 3 days or a week, you should start to see increased sales. While everybody's experience is probably going to be different, I have done a little bit of research on Facebook and Instagram, and it turns out that there are many, many sellers on Poshmark that really like this method and use this method. So with all of that being said, we're going to go into step 1 of the 30-minute method. Starting out, you want to share 30 items. Now, these are going to be 30 items from your own closet. Rather than just pushing the share button, though, what you want to do is you want to, on your app, go into the edit function, push next, and then list. So it looks like you're relisting these items, like you've made some edits or you've refreshed your listing. Next up, you're going to list 3 items. These are completely fresh, completely new items that Poshmark has never seen in your closet before. Now you want to go in and you want to follow your followers. That means all of them. Everyone who's following you, you want to give them a follow back as just good posh etiquette. Step 4 is going to be following new closets. When you're on your app, there's a place where you can see just join and fresh closets. You want to go in there and you want to start following some of those newbies on Posh. Along with just following them, you also want to welcome new closets. You don't want to advertise. You don't want to try to sell them something. You just want to say, hey, so glad to have you here on Poshmark. Make sure to come to me to ask any questions. We love seeing, new people. We love getting to know you. And this, again, increases your engagement with the app. And finally, you want to engage in share back activities. What this means that if anybody has shared one of your listings in the last 30 minutes or an hour, you want to go back and you want to share one or several of theirs. And this way, it's posh etiquette to do this. Not everyone does, but it is certainly looked upon as a really good thing within the community. Okay, so those were the 6 steps. As you can see, when you first get started, it's probably going to take you longer than 30 minutes to do this, quote, 30-minute method, and that's okay. Because as you do more of it, theoretically, you will get faster with it and things will become easier. And then as you see the sales come in, you will not mind in the least doing these activities because you're going to see an uptake in your profits. And so I'm going to be engaging in this. I hope others will join along. And in the comments, I'd love to hear your experiences. Are you on Posh? Are you going to be doing this method? Let me know. I'd love to hear from you. One more thing that I wanted to talk about with Poshmark is the way I take my pictures. This first picture is actually one that I did for eBay. I took a plus size blouse, I put it on a hanger, and you're going to notice I have a kind of a similar theme of how I take all of my pictures. I take a very clear view of the front of a piece. Next up, I like to do an insert of the neckline. Then I do maybe a hem shot if there's something going on. I also like a close-up of the tag so they can see the name and the brand. And then I'll turn it around and I'll do a clear view of the back. And if there's any details or patterns, that's the last picture. Now here's a piece that I did for Poshmark. I did this on a flat lay, and I did kind of what I would consider a little bit more of the artsy shots, where I kind of maybe changed the angle around a little bit, and I tried just a kind of maybe a better quality, because it does seem to be people will spend a little bit more, so it does seem to be worth my time to really make them look as beautiful as possible. Where on eBay, it's all about volume. You want to sell as much as you can. On Poshmark, it's really about building your closet's, reputation and making sure people are following you. And that's when you can really command higher prices. So that's why I decided to really change up the way I'm doing my Posh. The last picture that I place on my Poshmark listing is going to be this size chart. And I think this looks just really cool and really clean, and it lets buyers know exactly what size, how many inches the piece is. And I do this through a website called Sizely. So let me take you over there so you can check it out. So when you get to Sizely, if you look at the top bar, you're going to see a button called Templates. So you want to click on that. And this shows you all the templates. These are all the dresses and shirts here that you would be able to do. When you scroll down, you're going to see jeans, shorts, and skirts. And then at the very bottom, they also have a place where you can measure eyeglasses. I've never done that before, but I actually do have some eyeglasses that I want to sell, so that'll come in handy one day. And so I'm just going to show you, if you wanted to do a female jeans, you click on jeans female, you turn the slider over to inches, and then you just click whatever inches you want into whatever measurements you take. So I usually for pants do the waist, the rise, the inseam, and then the leg opening. But you can obviously take more or less, whatever you feel comfortable with. And so after you type all of those in, you just click on generate image. And as you can see, it just gives you this amazing little image here that has all of your sizes in. We've come to the comments and questions portion of the video. So after I posted my video yesterday, I got lots of great comments and questions. So I picked out a few that I figured I would answer here in the video in case you weren't reading the comments, because there were some really great ones. First up, I have a viewer that said they've sold 3 winter coats this week and 4 sweaters. So they want to tell you to keep listing your stuff all year round. And I 100% agree with them that you can sell things that are not just seasonal. However, I find that my anything that's in season will generally sell faster, which is, great for me, easy in, easy out. And if you have the choice, then I would choose to go for seasonal items. But if you don't have a large stockpile of things to list, or you have extra time, even in the summer, take out those sweaters and jackets, or in the winter, take out those swimsuits and see if you can get them sold. This next commenter told me that I was selling my Lafayette 148 too cheap. She says I can get $100 for some of my stuff, easy. So I'm going to take her advice. I'm going to list my Lafayette 148 higher. I do have a couple pieces to put online, and I will let you know how that goes. This next viewer has a great question. She says that she's wondering how I factor in shipping when I list and the buyer pays the shipping. This commenter is on Poshmark, where she sells, and since Posh takes care of the shipping over there, she's a little intimidated by eBay, and I say don't be. There's a couple really good rules of thumb that you want to use when you're shipping on eBay. First of all, get a scale, or have a scale that you can use. You can buy a scale for around $15 or $20 that'll work just fine on Amazon. Highly recommend. Anything that you're shipping that is under 8 ounces is going to go first class for $2.77. So if you're super intimidated by shipping, what I recommend is buying some lightweight pieces, maybe some women's shirts, and make sure that they're going to be able to ship for under 8 ounces. Then if you charge a flat rate of $2.99 to any of your buyer, you know that your shipping's taken care of. Anything from 8 ounces up to 15.9 ounces, that's under a pound, you're going to charge first class shipping again, only this time the price is going to go from about $3.20 to about $4.20, depending on how heavy your piece is. So I think first class about maxes out at $4.30, and that would be at that 15.9 ounces. And so if you have anything a little bit heavier, maybe you have a sweater that's just under a pound. So if you charge around $3.99 in shipping, you'll probably have to pay a little bit out of pocket. But again, that doesn't bother me, especially if it's a really good flip, if it's a really good sale. Now, if you get over the pound mark, chances are if you're in clothing, you're going to be shipping in a flat rate padded mailer. Those ship for $6.30. So there's a couple ways that you can do this. You can either charge your buyer like $6.99 and they can pay that flat rate, or you can subsidize that a little. What I do is I usually charge $3.99 for anything that's going to be over a pound that I can fit into a flat rate padded envelope. And when I send that, I know, or when I sell that, I know that a few dollars in shipping is going to come out of my pocket. And that's okay with me. And the reason for that is I just add that money onto my price. So instead of selling something for $21, I might sell it for $25, knowing that that extra few dollars I'm going to put towards shipping. Another question I got asked me if I look up every item before I purchase it. And the answer to that is generally not. There are lots of brands that I know from experience, from doing research on eBay, and also watching copious amounts of YouTube hauls, what brands seem to do really well on eBay. If there is a piece and I don't recognize the brand, but I do recognize the quality, I will, the quality of the item, maybe it's made out of silk or linen or there's some other details, I will whip out my phone, go onto my eBay app and check out the solds for whatever piece I'm looking at. That's why when I do my hauls, I'll usually have a few pieces where I say, this is a new to me brand, because it'll be something that I just found. The ever running question on eBay: how do you get out that funny, musty smell that comes from secondhand stores? And this is a turnoff, as the question states, and definitely. And I wash my clothes. I put them through my washer and dryer if the care label says that's okay. I use a perfume-free detergent. Usually the all clear and free is my favorite, and I find that it gets out almost all the smells, so they're taken care of. And the final question I'm going to take is, can you please provide a link to the clear bags you use? This is after I'm done listing something. I will put them in a bag before I put them in my inventory. What I suggest doing is going onto Amazon and typing in self-sealing poly bags. What you're going to do is you are going to find lots of clear ones with the suffocation warnings. Uline is a very popular brand for this. I find them to be a little more expensive than the others. I don't mind using non-branded items. I do like to find the ones that ship Prime. I am a Prime member, and so I get them usually overnight for free shipping. And after you find, you sort through them and you find pieces that you like, you just make sure that you get the right size. I usually keep 3 to 4 sizes on hand for all of my shipping, and I'm very happy with them. So that's it for question and answer. I am off to do some listing, and I want to see how much I can get done in the next maybe 2 hours, and I will check in before I head to bed to show you what I was able to do. Hey everyone, I just wanted to say good night. I have here a pile of everything that I listed today. I listed 25 buy it nows and 1 auction, and I did a lot of dresses. You can kind of see the Eileen Fisher peeking out there. Not as much as I would like to list. I'd really like to get 30 or 40 a day, but still a pretty good haul for myself. So I'm going to leave it here, and I'm going to say goodnight to everyone. You can expect another video from me tomorrow. And a big thanks to everyone who watched and left comments. I really appreciate everyone, and I will be back on my experiment of working as a full-time eBayer for a week. Good night.